The visitor, the storm hit the base just after midnight. Heavy snow, strong winds, and a strange static in the air. Deep under the ice in a secret facility in Antarctica, alarms began to ring. Something was coming down from the sky. Fast. Commander Reyes stood in the control room, eyes fixed on the radar. An object had entered Earth's atmosphere without warning. No heat signature, no response to radio signals. Just a smooth, silent fall, like it was meant to be here. "It's going to crash," one of the techs said. "No," Reyes replied. "It's landing." The object hit the ground 3 kilometers from the base. A shockwave rolled through the ice, but there was no explosion. Reyes grabbed his coat and headed to the landing site with a small team. They didn't know what to expect. Aliens were not new rumors. But this was different. When they reached the site, the snow was still falling. A black, oval-shaped ship sat quietly in a shallow crater. It looked smooth, like glass, but had no windows or markings. Steam rose from its surface, hissing softly. Then, a door opened. Everyone raised their weapons. Something moved inside. Then, a woman stepped out, slowly, carefully. She looked human, but not quite. Her skin had a faint silver glow. Her hair floated like it was underwater, and her eyes deep blue. Too deep, almost endless. She was injured. Blood dripping from her side. She fell to her knees in the snow. "Don't shoot," she said in perfect English. Her voice was soft, calm, almost musical. "Let me stay. I can give you what no other woman ever could." The soldiers looked at each other. Confused, unsure, Reyes stepped forward, lowering his weapon. "What are you?" he asked. "My name is Ilari," she said, coughing. "I need shelter." "I need time," Reyes hesitated, but then gave the order. "Bring her in." Back at the base, Ilari was taken to a secure medical room. Doctors scanned her but didn't understand her biology. Her blood healed too fast. Her cells were alive, moving, changing. She didn't fight, didn't resist. Just watched everyone with tired eyes. Reyes sat in front of her, alone, trying to understand. "You speak English," he said. "I've studied your world for a long time," she answered. "I chose this language to speak to you. Why are you here?" She looked at him for a long moment. "I came because I saw what's coming," she said. "Earth is in danger, and you're not ready." Reyes leaned forward. "What kind of danger?" She shook her head. "Not yet. I can't explain everything now. You wouldn't believe me." "Try me," Reyes said. Ilari's expression softened. "I know about your daughter," she whispered. Reyes froze. His daughter Lily was 10 years old. In the hospital, a rare condition, no cure, only time left. He had told no one, not even his team. "Don't play games with me," he said. Voice hard. "I'm not," she said. Her voice gentle. "I can help her. I can heal her." "How?" "I can do many things, but only if I'm allowed to stay." Her eyes met his, full of something ancient and sad. "Please, Commander, I don't want to harm anyone. I only want a chance." Reyes stared at her, mind racing. Was she lying? Manipulating? Or was this something bigger than he understood? He stood up and left the room. Outside, his second in command was waiting. "She's dangerous," the man said. "We don't know what she is." Reyes looked back at the door. "She knew about Lily," he said quietly. Silence hung in the air. Then came a call from the control room. "Sir, we have a problem." Reyes rushed back. A second object had appeared in space. Bigger than the first, not moving, just watching. Ilari's voice echoed in his head. "Earth is in danger." He looked at the screen, heart pounding. This wasn't just about an alien visitor. This was the beginning of something much larger. And somehow she was the key. Asterisk the deal. The dream started that night. Reyes hadn't slept more than 3 hours. Still, he saw her Ilari standing in the snow. Eyes glowing, lips moving. But no sound. Behind her, Earth was burning. Cities falling into black clouds, skies full of fire. He woke up sweating, breathing hard. It wasn't just a dream. He knew it wasn't in the lab. Ilari sat in a sealed glass room, surrounded by machines, cameras and armed guards. She looked peaceful, like she had accepted her fate. But something about her made the scientists nervous. Their scans failed, their needles bent. Her body was not normal, it adapted. It rejected, it healed. The head scientist, Dr. Chun, approached Reyes with the latest report. "She's not like anything we've seen before," he said. "She's not human, but she's not completely alien either." "What do you mean?" Reyes asked. "She's mixed," Chun said, lowering his voice. "Half something we can't identify. Half something like us." Reyes narrowed his eyes. "Like us how?" "She has human DNA." Reyes turned to look through the glass. Ilari sat still, watching them without blinking, as if she could hear every word. Later that day, Reyes entered the chamber alone. Ilari didn't stand, just smiled softly. "You saw it, didn't you?" she asked. "The fire." Reyes stayed silent, but she nodded anyway. "I told you. Your world is not ready," she said. "But I can help." "How?" he asked. "You say you want to help, but you don't say how." "I have knowledge," she said. "Technology that can make your bodies stronger, your diseases vanish, your minds sharper. Why offer it to us?" He asked. "Why not give it to someone else?" "Because others would use it for power," she said. "But humans, you fight, yes, but you also protect, you feel, you love." Reyes leaned forward. "What do you want in return?" She paused. "I want to stay," she said. "I want to live here among you. That's it." Reyes asked, "You give us everything, and all you want is a place to live?" "There's more," she said slowly. "My people will come for me." He frowned. "Your people?" "I left them," she said. "I broke their law by coming here, by telling you the truth." "What truth?" She looked up at him. "They're not the only ones watching Earth. There's another species already on the way, and they don't come in peace." Reyes felt a chill down his spine. "The object near Saturn?" She nodded. "That is not my ship. That belongs to them." "Why are they coming?" "To remove you," she said quietly. "To clean this planet for something else." Reyes stood up, pacing the room. He couldn't believe what he was hearing, but his gut told him it was real. The way she spoke, the fear behind her calm voice, it felt honest. "Give me something real," he said. "Prove you're not lying." Ilari reached into her coat and pulled out a thin silver disc. She slid it across the table. "What is it?" "A gift," she said. "Use it on your daughter." Reyes's eyes went wide. "You said you could help her," he whispered. "I already have," she said. "That device holds nanits programmed with her genetic code. They will find her, fix her from the inside, and disappear." "How did you?" "I told you. I studied your world," she said. "I saw your pain. I chose to come here because of you." Reyes picked up the disc with shaking hands. He didn't know whether to trust her or lock her away forever. But deep down, something told him she wasn't lying. He left the room, heart pounding, that night. He placed the disc next to his sleeping daughter. The next morning, she woke up laughing for the first time in months, smiling, healthy, hungry, alive. Reyes knew then, Ilari was real. And what she had said about the threat was just the beginning. "This is Scout Unit Zal 7. Target planet identified. Designation, Earth. Population, unstable. Emotional, tribal. Current defense level, primitive. Recommend full cleansing within next orbital cycle. Note, defected royal lifeform detected on surface. Status, retrieve or eliminate. End transmission at 0600 hours. Reyes stared at the classified report. The message had been intercepted by one of Earth's black satellites. Technology not even most generals knew existed. The translation had taken 3 hours, and it came with one simple note from Central Command. "Do not share this with the alien." Reyes slammed the file shut. He knew who the defected royal lifeform was. Ilari. Down in the lab, Ilari stood quietly at the edge of her room, staring at the ceiling like she could hear signals no one else could. She hadn't spoken much since Reyes had accepted her deal. She seemed distracted, as if counting minutes in her head. Security had doubled, not to protect her, but to contain her. Dr. Chun leaned toward Reyes in the hallway, whispering, "They're planning to move her." "Where?" Reyes asked. Off-site, Chun said. Underground base in Alaska. Maybe even Mars station. Somewhere no one will ask questions. They can't do that, Reyes said. She helped my daughter. Chun lowered his voice even more. They don't care, he said. To them, she's not a woman. Not a guest. She's a weapon. Reyes left without answering. Back in his office, he opened the encrypted line to his old friend. Colonel Eva Salim. Tell me the truth, he said. Is Central planning to hand her over? There was a pause. Then Eva said, they don't plan to. Reyes, they already have. Reyes felt the blood drain from his face. When? Tonight, Eva said. Shadow team is already en route. Reyes ended the call and ran straight for the lab. He stormed through security, flashed his ID, and entered the room. Ilari turned to him calmly, as if she already knew. They're coming for me, she said. You knew? I heard the signal, she said. They sent hunters. I'm not going to let them take you, Reyes said. You can't stop it, she said gently. But you can help me escape. How? She walked to the wall and placed her hand against the metal. The lights in the room flickered. A pulse spread through the walls like ripples in water. What did you just do? He asked. I opened a door, she said. Before he could speak, the base shook, alarms blaring. Unauthorized breach in Sector 4, the voice said over the intercom. Reyes ran to the hallway and pulled up the surveillance feed. 3 humanoid figures, tall, dark-skinned, with armor that shimmered like oil, were moving through the corridors. No weapons, no sound. Cameras shorted out when they passed. Ilari stood behind him, voice steady. They are not here to negotiate. Reyes turned to her. What do they want? They want me, she said. Alive if possible, dead. If not. Reyes grabbed a weapon from the wall. Then we're not letting them take you. Ilari reached out and touched his hand. I won't let you die for me, she said. But I will let you choose. Choose what? To see what I truly am. Her eyes glowed bright silver. And in the reflection of the glass, Reyes saw her shape flicker. Her skin darkened into star metal, her body stretched taller. Her face changed, sharp, regal, terrifying and beautiful. Then it all faded. And she looked human again. I used to be one of them, she said. A queen in chains. Reyes didn't know whether to trust what he saw. But he knew one thing for sure. They were out of time outside. The intruders were cutting through walls like butter. And somewhere beyond the stars, something worse was watching, waiting. Asterisk, the enemy arrives high above Saturn's rings. A ship darker than space hovered in silence. Its surface moved like liquid. Its engines didn't hum. They whispered inside. The command chamber pulsed with cold blue light. Standing at the center was Commander Vrex, 7 feet tall, skin like obsidian glass, and eyes like frozen fire. He had never failed a mission until now. He stared at a projection of Earth, turning slowly, so full of life, sound, chaos, emotion. I don't understand them, he said quietly, behind him, his second in command. Unit Kesh responded. They are unstructured, violent, unpredictable. They are not efficient, Vrex replied. And yet, she chose them. The projection shifted, now showing Ilari, a glowing figure inside a human structure. They believe she is a gift, Kesh said. They do not know she was built for war. No, Vrex said. She was born for war. But she chose something else. Kesh tilted its head. Confused, emotion is not strategy. Emotion, Vrex whispered, is the one weapon we've never understood. He turned away, his voice now sharp again. Send the signal. If she will not return to us willingly, then burn everything she touched, back on Earth. The base was in chaos. Sirens screamed, power flickered. Soldiers shouted orders that no one followed. The intruders were no longer hiding. They moved like shadows, phasing through walls, disabling weapons before they fired. Every soldier who faced them went down fast, not killed, but frozen, their bodies locked in stasis. Reyes and Ilari ran through the emergency tunnel, her bare feet never touching the ground. He looked at her with a mix of fear and trust. What else haven't you told me? He asked. She didn't answer, not yet, above them. The enemy ship broke Earth's orbit. Its underbelly opened, not with weapons, but with light. A deep red beam scanned across the clouds. Ilari suddenly gasped and fell to her knees. Reyes knelt beside her. "What's happening?" "They're calling me," she said, eyes wide. "They're trying to take control again. You said you left them." "I did," she whispered. "But they still think I'm theirs." She looked at him, pain in her voice. "I wasn't just part of their army. I was born in a lab, raised to lead invasions. I've burned hundreds of worlds." Reyes froze. All the pieces were falling into place now. Her strength, her knowledge, her pain. She hadn't come to Earth by chance. She had run here, to hide from what she was. "You were their queen," he said quietly. "I was their weapon," she replied. "But Earth changed something in me. Humans fight for survival, but they also fight for each other. I had never seen that before, above ground." Defense satellites activated, missiles locked on the alien ship. A general's voice shouted through the speakers. "All units, open fire." Ilari's eyes snapped open, glowing with silver light. "No," she whispered. "If you attack, they'll retaliate." "It's too late," Reyes said. The sky lit up as Earth's first volley launched. Dozens of missiles soared toward the enemy vessel. For a moment, the world held its breath. Then, nothing, the missiles vanished midair. Not destroyed, just gone. A voice echoed across all frequencies, deep and emotionless. "You were warned," Ilari looked at Reyes. "I can stop them," she said. "But not like this," he stared at her. "What do you need?" "Connection," she said. "To your global network, to your sky, to your people." "Why?" "Because I'm going to speak," she said. "And they need to know who I am before they decide whether to fight beside me or not." Reyes gave her a slow nod, then tapped into the base's satellite uplink. "All channels open," he said. Ilari stood in front of the camera, eyes glowing, voice calm. "To the people of Earth," she said, "my name is Ilari. I was made to destroy worlds, but this one taught me how to save them." The betrayal Maya sat on her couch, a spoonful of cereal frozen halfway to her mouth. She had just woken up, turned on the news, and then everything changed, every screen, every phone, every broadcast, taken over by the same feed. A woman with glowing eyes, standing in a place Maya didn't recognize. Her voice was soft, calm, but it made the hairs on Maya's neck stand up. "My name is Ilari," the woman said. "I came from beyond your stars, not to conquer, but to choose." Maya dropped her spoon. Her younger brother, still in his pajamas, stared at the screen. "Is this a movie?" he asked. Maya didn't answer, because deep down, she knew it wasn't. Across the world, people stopped what they were doing. Traffic slowed, classrooms fell silent, soldiers paused mid-march, and in the shadows of government bunkers, powerful men were already giving orders. In a war room deep beneath Washington, D.C., red lights flashed above a long steel table. "She went public," a general said. "She exposed our entire operation." Another slammed a folder shut. "She's not a guest anymore. She's a threat to global stability," the president, standing at the head of the table, gave one cold command: "Activate Project Scorch." Reyes didn't know what Ilari had just triggered. He stood beside her as the broadcast ended, heart still racing. "You think they'll believe you?" he asked. "They have to," Ilari said. "I gave them the truth." But Reyes had lived long enough to know, people in power don't want truth. They want control. He grabbed the communicator, called Ava again. What did they just launch? He demanded silence then. "You need to move," Ava whispered. "They're not just coming for her. They're coming for you too." "What?" "You helped her go leave," Ava said. "They think you've gone rogue." Reyes looked at Ilari. "We have to leave," he said. "Now." "How?" she asked. He turned to the lab's far wall, punched in an old override code. A hidden panel opened, revealing a narrow maintenance shaft. "Underground tunnel," Reyes said. "Goes all the way to the outer airstrip." As they entered the tunnel, the floor shook. A low rumble echoed from above, like thunder trapped in stone. They're here, Ilari said softly. But it's not the aliens, it was human shadow team. Elite Black Ops soldiers trained to erase anything that didn't fit the official story. Reyes had once worked with them. Now they were hunting him, back in the war room. A commander stared at a live feed from a drone. Visual on the target, he said. 2 life forms moving through escape tunnel. Terminate, came the reply. Ilari and Reyes moved fast, their breath fogging in the cold air. Suddenly, Ilari stopped, eyes glowing again. They're locking the doors, she said. I can feel the system shifting. You can feel the base? Reyes asked. I'm connected to everything now, she said. The moment I touched your satellite network, I touched Earth itself. She placed her palm on the metal wall. The lights flickered, then turned green. Go, she said. I'll slow them down. No, Reyes said, grabbing her hand. We go together. She looked at him, surprised. I've never had someone say that to me. Well, get used to it, he said. They reached the tunnel's end just as the wall exploded behind them. Shadow team poured in, faceless helmets. 0 words, weapons raised, Reyes fired first, covering Ilari as she sprinted through the gate. One of the bullets hit her, but instead of bleeding, her skin flashed silver and sealed shut. Outside, the wind screamed, and snow blasted across the landing strip. Reyes spotted the old prototype jet, half buried in snow, but still fueled. They climbed inside, Reyes hitting switches while Ilari touched the console. The engine roared to life instantly as the jet lifted off. The base behind them exploded, not from enemy fire, but from Earth's own strike. They destroyed the base, Reyes said, stunned. To cover it up. They don't want the world to know I'm real, Ilari said quietly. They'd rather burn the truth than share it. Reyes looked at her as the stars opened above them. What now? She turned to him. Now. We stop running, the choice Lily Reyes woke up gasping. Not from pain, but from something else. Awareness. She sat up in bed, her hands trembling. The air felt too sharp, too full, like she could hear things she wasn't supposed to. Outside her hospital window, she saw patterns in the wind. She could hear the heartbeats of nurses down the hall. She could feel electricity in the walls, and somehow she knew. Her father was in danger. Her mother rushed in, panicked. Lily, lie down, you're not well. I'm better than well, Lily said. She reached for a glass of water, and before her fingers touched it, the water moved toward her. Her mother screamed. Lily didn't, because deep inside, she heard a voice, soft and calm. You are more than you were. You are the proof. The nanits Ilari gave her weren't just medicine. They were evolution, above Earth, high in orbit. The stolen jet flew quiet in low-power mode. Inside, Reyes stared out the window, hands shaking. He hadn't spoken in 20 minutes. Not since the explosion, not since Earth turned on them, not since he saw his own people become enemies. Ilari sat beside him, eyes closed, connected to the satellite grid. We can't run forever, Reyes finally said. We're not running, she replied calmly. We're circling. Circling what? A decision. She opened her eyes and looked at him. They gave me 2 choices, she said. Surrender and be taken, or fight and be hunted. And what did you choose? I haven't. Reyes raised an eyebrow. Why not? Because it's not my decision anymore, she said. It's yours. He frowned. What are you talking about? Ilari turned the jet screen on. Dozens of news feeds from around the world played at once. Some called her a savior, others called her a weapon. Protests, celebrations, riots, silence, all happening at the same time. You lit the fire, Commander, she said. You're the human voice they believe in, not mine. Reyes stared at the screens. This can't just be about politics, he said. There's something else you're not telling me. Ilari looked away for a second, then back at him. There's a plan, she said. A way to stop what's coming. What is it? I can release a signal, she said. Through your satellites. It will turn every activated nanite into a shield. A defense system built inside your people. Reyes blinked. You've already given nanites to more people? Not just your daughter, she said, quietly, through air and water. Limited doses, safe, dormant, but ready. Ready for what? For humanity to evolve. Rhea stood up, pacing. You mean turn people into what, gods? No, she said. Just harder to kill. But if we do this, he said, we become like them. No, she said softly. You become like you, but better, outside. The stars shimmered. The enemy ship moved closer, orbiting Earth like a dark moon. Once the enemy arrives, she said, you won't win with missiles. Reyes closed his eyes. He thought of Lily, laughing again, smiling for the first time in months. What happens if we don't use the signal? Then Earth will be a memory, she said. Just like my world. He looked at her. And for the first time, he didn't see an alien. He saw a survivor, just like him. Reyes nodded slowly. Do it, he said. Send the signal. Far below, Lily stood barefoot in the hospital hallway. Nurses tried to stop her, but something in her eyes made them freeze. She turned toward the sky and smiled. I can hear you, Dad, she whispered. Let's show them what we are. The legacy private Malik Dare lay face down in the mud. His arm was gone, his vision was fading, and the alien soldier standing over him was raising a blade. He didn't cry, didn't beg. He just closed his eyes and thought of his mother's voice. Then something strange happened. The world slowed, the pain stopped, and deep in his chest, something clicked. A pulse of light spread through his veins. Silver, smooth, warm. His body lifted from the ground. The torn flesh repairing, bones locking back into place. He stood, breathing hard, blinking at his own hands. The blade came down, but Malik caught it midair. The alien froze. Malik looked it in the eye and said only one word, no. Then he fought back. Not like a soldier, but like something new. Across the planet, it was the same. Old wounds healed. Fear burned away. Humans, ordinary, broken, lost, began to rise. Not as weapons, not as monsters, but as people who would no longer be easy to kill. Children shielded their parents with glowing hands. Farmers fought beside soldiers. Hospitals overflowed with life. Not death. They weren't gods. They were just ready, in orbit. Ilari felt the pulse hit her chest like a drumbeat. She opened her eyes. They were no longer just silver. They held stars. Reyes stood beside her, still holding the controls of the ship. They're fighting back, he said, stunned. They're actually winning. They were always capable, Ilari said. They just needed permission. The enemy ship began to split open, releasing its final wave tall. Merciless quiet. Ilari stepped forward, the glass of the ship turning clear as she walked. They won't stop, Reyes said. You said so yourself. No, Ilari replied. They won't, she turned to him. But I can. What are you going to do? He asked. She placed a hand on his chest. I'm going to give them a choice. She stepped out into the open space, floating through the void toward the enemy vessel. Inside the ship, Commander Vrex watched her approach. He didn't give the order to fire. He simply stared. She returns, Kesh said. But she is changed. No, Vrex replied. She is complete. Ilari entered the ship like light through glass. No doors opened. The ship recognized her. She stood before the command center, surrounded by creatures that once called her queen. You were built to conquer, Vrex said. Not to plead. I'm not pleading, she said. I'm offering to be destroyed together, to evolve together. She lifted her hands, and the nanic pulse inside her spread again. But this time, not as an attack, as an invitation. She showed them Earth, not just its cities and weapons, but its people, its pain, its strength, its ridiculous love. She showed them Lily, laughing in the hospital. She showed them Malik, standing on broken legs. She showed them Reyes, who chose trust over fear. Join us, she said, or watch what you fear become what you deserve. Vrex stepped forward, his body flickering, the fire in his eyes dimmed. Then he knelt one by one. The rest followed, on Earth. The skies cleared. The alien ships retreated, not as enemies, but as something uncertain, watching, learning, maybe even Hoping, Rhea stood beside Ilari on a green hill days later. Lily ran through the grass below, faster than any child should, stronger, brighter, alive. They'll come again someday, Rhea said. Different enemies. Yes, Ilari replied. But Earth won't be the same. He looked at her. What do we call it now? She smiled. Home. Far away. Deep in a cave beneath the Pacific, a new child opened her eyes. She wasn't born, she was left behind, with silver veins, glowing eyes, and Ilari's voice in her head. She stepped forward into the dark. The future had already begun.